Do you believe that 2022's final quarter will yield record profits? With all the problems and difficulties, 2022 will surely be a difficult year for Tesla, with the stock falling to all-time lows multiple times. Nevertheless, a lot of people are expecting that Q4 2022 would show to be, at minimum, better than the previous quarters. It wouldn't be ideal to miss this. Tesla released a press announcement shortly after the New Year's festivities, stating that it has produced and delivered over 439,000 automobiles. The press announcement states that while manufacturing increased by 47% to 1.37 million vehicles in 2022, vehicle deliveries for Tesla increased by 40% year-over-year to 1.31 million. It was also mentioned that the corporation kept moving toward a more balanced regional mix of vehicle builds, which resulted in an additional rise in the number of cars in transit by the end of the quarter. We are grateful to all of the people that supported us in achieving a fantastic 2022, including our shareholders, staff, suppliers, and customers. Given the notable COVID-19 pandemic and supply chain-related obstacles encountered this year, the press announcement stated, it was revealed that on Wednesday, January 25th, 2023, following the market close, Tesla will release its financial statements for the fourth quarter and full year that ended on December 31st, 2022. When Q4 and full year 2022 earnings are released, Tesla's net income and cash flow figures will be revealed together with the rest of the financial performance. The aforementioned press release went on to say that Tesla vehicle deliveries are only one indicator of the company's financial performance and should not be used to predict quarterly financial results, which are dependent on a number of variables such as the cost of sales, fluctuations in foreign exchange rates, and the mix of directly leased vehicles. While investors' concerns on Tesla's Q4 2022 production and delivery figures, which fell short of expectations, may be slightly allayed by this remark, but not completely. To put it plainly, the fourth quarter results were below analyst forecasts. As of December 31st, 2022, FactSet, a financial data business, listed over 40 analysts covering Tesla stock. Based on a consensus of analyst forecasts, Wall Street was anticipating Tesla to announce deliveries of approximately 427,000 during the last quarter of the year. FactSet's consensus estimate, which was updated in December, was between 409,000 and 433,000. The company compiled consensus that was shared by Vice President of Investor Relations at Tesla, Martin Vita, was consistent with those more recent projections. According to a consensus report by industry researcher Troy Teslak for the electric vehicle sector 24 sell-side analysts project an average of 417,957 Tesla deliveries for the quarter and 1.33 million deliveries for the quarter. Tesla does not release production and delivery figures by geographic area, despite the fact that it increased manufacturing in Shanghai and Fremont, California this year and opened 2 new plants. According to Tesla, sales of its entry-level Model 3 car and Model Y crossover reached 388,131 in the last quarter of 2022, while sales of its more expensive Model S sedan and Model X SUV totaled 17,147. It should be mentioned that Tesla stated over a multi-year horizon we expect to achieve 50 average annual growth in vehicle deliveries in its third quarter shareholder presentation. Our equipment capacity, manufacturing uptime, operational effectiveness, and the strength and stability of the supply chain will all affect the rate of expansion. Tesla faced several difficulties during the quarter that concluded on December 31st, 2022, including COVID outbreaks in China that forced the firm to temporarily halt and curtail production at its Shanghai factory. To increase demand, Tesla also ran aggressive price reductions and other promotions in China, the United States, and other countries, even if doing so may have an adverse effect on its profit margins. Musk requested volunteers to deliver as many cars to customers before the end of 2022 in an email to the Tesla crew. Musk also urged staff members not to be troubled by what he called the craziness of the stock market in his email. It's also important to remember that during the previous 6 months, Tesla shares fell by more than 45%. Given that Tesla electric vehicles are more pricey when compared to an expanding number of completely electric and hybrid products from competitors, numerous experts raised concern about the potential decline in demand for the company's products even in December. Nevertheless, President Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction legislation, which offers incentives for local manufacture and the purchase of completely electric vehicles, is certain to boost Tesla this year. Nevertheless, Barron's recently stated in an essay that he believes Tesla will make about 40% more money in 2023 than it did in 2022, roughly $4 per share. Unquestionably, investors were hoping that Tesla's fourth quarter EV delivery figures would help kick off 2023 with a boom after the company's unremarkable performance in 2022. That hasn't happened, though, as investors are disappointed that the real statistics didn't live up to expectations. Analysts anticipate a 40% increase in Tesla deliveries in 2023 from approximately 1.3 million cars in 2022 to 1.8 million to 1.9 million units. Notably, from 935,950 vehicles delivered in 2021 to 1,313,851. Vehicles delivered in 2022, Tesla raised its sales volume by over 40%. According to data from Yahoo Finance, Tesla produced 1,369,611 cars in 2022, roughly 56,000 more than it delivered. For Q4 2022 analysts have estimated sales of $24.96 billion on average. In addition to a growth projection of 38.8%, the experts have a low estimate of 21.1 billion and a high estimate of 28.79 billion. Even though many people are optimistic about Tesla's performance in 2023, there are still a few issues that are unsettling Tesla investors regarding their expectations for this year. One of these issues is the Chinese electric car manufacturer NIO, which recently reduced its forecast for fourth quarter deliveries by roughly 9%, citing the impact of an increasing number of coronavirus cases in China's major cities. This increased investors' concerns about Tesla's performance in China's sales market. There have been rumors that Tesla is cutting back on production at its Shanghai plant, which could be another indicator of declining demand in China. Concerns regarding the demand for Tesla's automobiles have also been raised by the company's recent decision to lower the price of its Model 3 and Model Y cars in the United States. Concerns should be expressed on a few of these recent headlines. It's very hard to tell, though, if any of these problems are only transitory in nature as the business works to resolve one-time obstacles, or if they're a sign of longer-term troubles that could arise in 2023. Speaking on Bloomberg Television, Callow expressed his concerns on the overall state of the economy. Are individuals able to afford $60,000 cars? The market is also concerned about that some analysts predict significantly lower than expected Tesla deliveries in Q4. Adam Jonas, an analyst with Morgan Stanley, lowers his target price for Tesla stock to a still high $250,000. However, he also lowers his forecast price for Q4 delivery to just $399, 00 by late December. In an earlier story, CNBC covered Morgan Stanley's Tesla recommendation, in which the analyst emphasized the investment group's optimism and kept the price objective for Tesla at $330 and conveyed their hope for Tesla's immediate future. While we see 2023 as a challenging year for the EV market categorically, we believe Tesla's gap to competition can widen, Morgan Stanley said. But as was already mentioned, Adam Jonas of Morgan Stanley lowered Tesla's price forecast from $330 to $250. Even yet, given that the price of Tesla stock is currently less than $125 a share, it seems likely. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, voiced his optimism for a record-breaking Q4 during the Q3 earnings call. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, stated during the Q3 results call, "I can't emphasize enough we have excellent demand for Q4 and we expect to sell every car that we've made. The factories are running at full speed and delivering every car we make as larger plants in Austin and Berlin ramp up production." Tesla expects to capitalize on the sales of its top-selling Model Y and Model 3 electric vehicles, which it plans to push considerably higher globally in the fourth quarter, according to internal blueprints examined by Reuters. With our factories ramping up, we anticipate a record-breaking Q4. Therefore, fingers crossed, it appears that we'll have an incredible year-end. Thus, Q4 is looking quite promising, Musk says. If the production ramp-up goes according to plan, the global autos market's projected growth will jump by a factor of 10 in 2023, considering a 50% production increase for the entire year. By examining Tesla's financial statements and future prospects, investors can have a better understanding of the state and perhaps the opportunity of the stock. In comparison to its competitors, Tesla has low levels of debt, strong fundamentals of strong earnings and profitability, and steady demand growth for all of its goods. There's additional positive news when considering upcoming product releases. To learn more, subscribe to Tesla Stock.